Welcome to PPR Podcast. We missed Brody Stump last week. Brody, we're going to get back to you as soon as we clear out the people we have scheduled. But we're now an even number. This is PPR Podcast number 192. My name is Paul Rudy. To the right is the undisputed star of the PPR and of the podcast, Mr. Bert Grossman.
I thought that was Brandon Stone for a second.
Well, he's also a star, but I mean, I think when you're the 8th pick in the NFL draft,
in 1971, you get some action.
You're considered the undisputed star. You've played the game at the highest level. Not many of us have, but our next guest hopes to.
Yes, Aden Jackson from Lincoln High School.
Aden Jackson joins us. Presto. Aden, are we getting you out of class by chance?
Yeah, we're about to be on lunch, so I'm good.
All right. Well,
Aden has a 4.4 GPA.
Well, let's start right there, young man. You know what it's like. Football players, they have the reputation, oh, you're just playing football and you're just some dumb jock. That doesn't fly at Lincoln. Explain, could you please?
No, so Coach Dunn, he's very on top of all of our grades. Like, if you go up to him and you ask him for a certain player's transcript and the GPA, like, he's going to know it off rip. So Coach Dunn, he's very involved with our academics. He's making sure that we're not just on point on the field, but also in the classroom as well.
Which is a cool thing. I don't know that everybody knows that about Lincoln, and I think they should, because if I'm told if you come up short or skip in class, then you don't play.
No, if you get caught skipping class, then that's probably top 3 worst thing you can do on the team. That's a no-go. You're probably gonna miss a quarter of the next game. So missing class is not an option.
What are the other 2 top 3 teams that are things you can't do there?
All right. I'm not gonna lie, we're really big on respect, not just outside of football, but in football as well, obviously. So probably just if you try to talk back or something like that, just a dumb mistake. But yeah, that's probably up there also. And then there's a few things that can go ahead.
No, I want to meet the player that has the gonads to talk back to Coach Dunn. I want to meet that person. Does that person exist?
No, they don't try to do it. They don't try to do it directly. They think they're slick and do it under their breath, but they end up getting caught every time. Coach Dunn has super hearing or something. I don't know, but yeah.
I did that with Bobby Ross one time, and I tried to hide it.
Yeah.
At a lunch thing, and about a half hour later, he called me in his office. It was terrible. And then he traded me next year after I said it.
Coach Dunn has good ears, huh?
Yeah, apparently.
Listen, the reason why you're here, young man, is we're starting to percolate as it relates to the Silver Pigskin Player of the Year podium. And when this season started, we kind of penciled in, we figured Akili Smith, going to Oregon, leading one of the best teams in the county. But we're now starting to talk to coaches, and we're talking to recruiters, and we're talking to athletes that you play against. You'd be shocked at how often your name comes up as being the straw that stirs the drink over at Lincoln. 1, does that make you feel good? And 2, is that something that you thought you had in you?
Yeah, so with me, I push myself a lot throughout the offseason, just trying to make myself the best football player I can. So just seeing all the hard work and the results starting to pay off, it means a lot. And then overall, going into this season, I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't say like, oh, I'm gonna win Pigskin this year. Like, I wouldn't say that was my mindset. But as the season progressed and I started having the season that I'm having right now, then I would say that it made me push myself more, realizing that it was achievable. So I would say, yeah.
The numbers are undeniable, dude. And it's not like you're playing the Little Sisters of the Poor every week. You're playing good teams.
Great teams, actually.
Yeah.
Thank you. Great teams. Great teams. It's one thing to put up 200 yards against Sister Mary's, 7 Dwarves, but you guys are playing quality national opponents. Would you like to expand on that?
Yes, sir.
I would, and we talk about that when we do our top 10 all the time, and I just keep harping how brutal your schedule is for you guys, but you just keep knocking the wins out.
How many 3-loss teams are top in the rankings?
They only got 2
or excuse me, how many 2-loss teams are
2
top
loss.
in the rankings? Sorry, I didn't mean to add one. Okay, while we're doing this, you asked Aden a joke. Ask Aden, because I got to correct a graphic I made. So just real quick.
Oh, you want me to get a joke from him?
No. Just keep asking a question, Maddie. Make sure
I deal with Aden all the time. Say, Aden, when he gets back, I'm going to ask you your full name, and you're going to have to tell it to me. You know that, right?
Okay.
I almost say it. Or
I
you
was
don't
not
tell
expecting
it.
it.
All right, hold on.
All right,
Paul, let's ask. Why don't you ask Aden his full name?
Aden, what is your full name?
all right. So my first name is Aden, and then I have two middle names, but it's both of my grandparents. So my mom's dad, his name was Robert, and then my dad's dad, his name was Luther. So my full name is Aden Robert Luther Jackson.
Nice.
Dude, it sounds like 5 presidents.
Yeah.
So when you sign, when you have to sign some official document or something, do you sign the entire name?
No, I put RL.
So
I'm
you're
RL.
Aden R.O. Jackson.
Yeah, I'm not writing that full. Yeah.
Robert Luther.
Yeah, Robert Luther. Okay, very cool.
R.L..
Very cool.
Yeah.
Wow, because that'd be tough to put on the back of a jersey. It'd be too continued on their away uniform. All right, so I don't know if you heard, you got a big game this week.
Yes, sir.
Can you talk a little bit about it? Listen to Bert. Bert's going to go off for a little bit. He's going to riff on why this game is important. Then I want you to play off what Bert has to say. Bert, your assessment is?
This is what I think. So we have the best defensive coordinator in the county against best offense coordinator, but it seems like in the last 10 years, both of you guys, one's been up and one's been down. You've never really played each other where you've had like full strength. Like, Cathedral will be good for 5 years and you guys will be down. You guys have been good for 3 years, Cathedral's been down. This is the first year both of you guys are up, I think, that you've ever faced each other, which makes it a much different game, I would say, than usual.
Do you agree with that, Aden?
Yeah, I would say I would agree. We know that we're going to get their best, but they're also going to get our best as well. So we're excited for sure.
Without dwelling on it, because it's now in the distant past, and I don't want to go there. But there was some bad blood between the school. The game had to go to a neutral site. Now we're back to playing the game home and home, and I think everyone's happy about that. You weren't even around. Where were you? Were you even on? You weren't on the team when all that was going down, right?
No, so I was in 8th grade when it happened.
So all that's. Talk about. I mean, is that even brought up anymore?
No, it's not necessarily brought up. Like when we think of Cathedral, like it pops into our mind, but it's kind of faint though. Like right now, it's just the next opponent that we have to face. It's a good opponent, so it's mainly just that. We don't necessarily focus on what happened in the past.
Yeah, going back to the other part that we don't even bring up. We bring up Montali and Jason Carter, but it's also Sean Doyle and Bashif, who's probably the second best coordinator in the county, if not tied for first. So this is really interesting.
And it's also, I'll tell you what, I don't know if you're aware of this, but it's a milestone game for your head coach. You win, and he hits the century mark. And boy, to hit the century mark against Cathedral would be quite memorable for that man, don't you think?
Yeah, yes, sir. Especially at Cathedral too.
Yeah, well, thank you. You took my second part of the question, because it would be a big freaking deal.
Yeah, yes, sir.
So is that a motivation?
Yeah. For us, every game is motivating just because it's the next game. Like Coach Carter, he always tells us like, don't look too far in the future. With the schedule we've had this year, like we couldn't afford to do that anyways. But for us, every game is the biggest game because it's the next game. That's what we have to focus on. But there is a little bit added to it just because of the factor with Coach Dunn. So, yeah.
For those who don't know what we're talking about, it would be Coach Dunn's 100th win.
His next win's his 100th win.
100th win.
Yeah, that's good. Hey, I know we talk about this a lot this season, but your senior year, I mean, nobody will play in town. You got to travel different states. You have no home fields. You got to bust the practices. You got to play every away game. And I know you guys are obviously dealing with it, but is that like as big a letdown? I mean, you don't get your senior year in front of everybody. I mean, how big a letdown is that for everybody?
Yeah, I feel like here it's more of a letdown than other places because the game day atmosphere at Lincoln is a lot different than everywhere else. Like, I feel like the whole community really comes out to support us. And they do a good job at traveling to Southwestern and watching our games still. But it's still not like it was last year and the seasons previous when we had our home games here. But it's okay. We make it work. So it's all right.
I would use it as a motivational tool, and I would say this would be the year people will talk about. When you're an old man, when you're my age, you'll be talking about the season that you had every obstacle and somehow you overcame them. If you go on to overcome them, I mean, you guys will be sitting around drinking beer into your 80s talking about, oh, remember we didn't have a home field. We played 11 road games and we still won the Open Division title. That kind of magic, because it'll never happen again. I mean, you could be literally the only team to do it.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
All right. So now I want to ask a question.
Wait, I got one more question.
Sure. Sorry.
You got a brother. Is it Andre is your brother?
Yeah. Yeah, Andre, that's my little brother.
Now, he's a freshman. Is he on freshman or is he on varsity?
He's the freshman and JV starting quarterback, and then varsity third string. It's Akili, and then Jordan Roa, and then Andre.
So that's got to be kind of cool playing with your brother.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be on him in practice, though. He'll mess up sometimes. I got to get in him. But he cool, though.
It's like it's like LeBron and Bronny. I mean, are they going to arrange that late in the year?
It's not his son, it's his brother.
Well, but it's the same kind of thing, an all-in-the-family deal. I wasn't saying, you know what I mean?
Like you and Fran Tarkenton, right? I got it.
All right, you know what? I want to apologize for Bird. He got hit. It was back before they had the special headgear. He was playing just as they got the face mask. Can I ask a question? I hope it's not a violation of any privacy laws, because I think cameras were around. What did Marcus Allen say to the team? And when you were thinking there, were you thinking, geez, if he can do it, why can't I? As far as make it, to the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, that's basically what he was telling us, to be honest. He was basically just telling us about how he started in Southeast, and then he just worked, and then it all paid off, and then he reached his end goal plus more. Like, now he's in the NFL Hall of Fame. And it was just inspiring to hear, like, someone that came from the same beginnings as my teammates and I, like, and seeing where he's at now, just that inspiration. So, yeah, that was cool for sure.
What was the one comment that he made that still rings in your head?
I don't know. He made a few. He was a quote guy, but probably just bringing up how much he worked. Like, he just kept emphasizing how hard he worked and how hard he pushed himself every day, and just seeing, like, what you get in or what you put in, you do get out. And I've kind of started to see that these past few off seasons. Like, the more I push myself, the better my stats are throughout the season. So just realizing, like, that is true, and, like, just holding true to that for right now and in the future.
Aden, incorporate this into your practice, because I covered Marcus when he was in Kansas City. It was at the end of his career. He had nothing left to prove. He already had a Super Bowl ring. He was already destined for the Hall of Fame, and he was playing out his career on what was a real good Kansas City Chiefs team. They had Joe Montana, and they had Marcus Allen in the backfield. And we were back in the day when I was a reporter, I covered him at training camp. Every repetition, be it a 7-on-7 drill or 11-on-11 in shells, every drill, when he got the ball, be it on a passing drill, he ran whatever they were on the field, he ran it out to the goal line. He said, I want to practice like I'm going to score on every play. So even if it took 30 seconds for him to come back, and by the time he got back, it was another rep, that guy was crazy. Everybody else would grab the ball, run a couple steps, turn around and throw it to the ball boy. He ran it out the entire field. It was nuts.
Coach Carter, he played with Adrian Peterson, and then Coach Dunn, he played with Jerry Rice. And they said that Adrian Peterson and Jerry Rice did similar things also.
And what do all those guys have in common? Is they're all going to be in Canton, Ohio? Or two of them are, and a third will be. So,
yes, sir.
I mean, just some food for thought. I know. Every repetition I get in the newsroom, I run it out to the.
Oh, you do. You're the Jerry Rice in the newsroom, without a doubt. You're a hard worker. Aden, so I'm going to go back on that, because let's take you back a couple of years. Roderick Robinson's there. Everybody knows Roderick.
Yes, sir.
That's got to be hard. Like, are you a little nervous, like, knowing you're going to be the next one, you got to step up, like, right after him? I mean, were you a little nervous, like, when you became the starter and Roderick's gone, you're like, oh, man, I got to follow this guy?
Yeah, especially because that season, everybody was like, oh, Lincoln's going to fall off. They don't have Rod anymore. And it's like I'm replacing Rod. Like that's on me. Like, I have to try to fill his shoes. But Rod, I feel like he taught me a lot. He prepared me to fill in when he left, and overall it worked out good. So, yeah, shout out to Rod.
Yeah, he's in Georgia. Did he get hurt? Did he hurt his leg or something?
Hurt his foot. Didn't he hurt his foot?
Yeah, his toe. Yeah, his toe.
His little brother's pretty good too out in Imperial, Rashad.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
killing it out there. I expect to see him in
Yeah.
Lincoln next year when you graduate.
So,
I don't know.
do you create more props? Young man, who's looking at you right now?
Okay, so right now my official offers are UC Davis, Georgetown, and Washington State.
Well, UC Davis and Georgetown are that'll be as much as an athletic competition. It'll be an academic challenge as well, will it not?
Yeah, yes, sir.
He's got a 4.4, Paul.
All right. So what do you do with that 4.4? I bet you it's got a. What's your 40 time?
My 40 time is a high 4.6.
I was going to say.
All right, what's your yards per carry?
Right now, it's just below 9.
Oh man,
So
with that schedule, really?
what I was going for was
I know
his
what you're going
4.40,
I got
4.4.
that. I got it. Thank
If you're just one step faster, you'd be there. Aiden,
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Sorry, man. I don't mean. You know what mine was? I thought
you.
I came in at 5'1", and I thought I was lickety split. I thought I was cruising.
And his day, they had a big grandfather clock out there, and then they would start it.
I honestly
and then he'd
thought
go.
I thought there was something wrong with the clock because I know I was sub 5. I know I was.
I don't even think you were 5'1".
No, I think I was
That's a
5.
lie.
I think it was 4.8. Really, it felt
Oh,
like a
stop
4.8.
it.
But so academically, obviously, while you are serious about football, your grades are important to you. What do you want to do with that on the academic side?
If football doesn't work out, I still want sports to be in my life. So I'm going to major in kinesiology. And then, yeah, that's going to be my major in college, kinesiology.
So what does
how the
that
body
entail?
works, stuff
What is
like
that?
Kinesiology is more so just like how the body works, like studying the muscles and stuff like that. And then sports medicine as well. So whatever I do is going to involve, if football doesn't work, is going to involve kinesiology and sports medicine.
You're gonna be free. Look at that. They got the strike force thing. You're gonna be free December 3rd, correct?
When is the state championship game?
He's asking you, you're going to be in attendance. You're going to be up for something at the gala. If not the big award, you're going to be up for something. He wants to make sure that
You're gonna be there.
you don't stiff us like other kids
Yeah,
have done in the past.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah, it's a Tuesday night. You're not gonna
It's
have
a
state
Tuesday night.
game.
What else are you going to be doing? You're going to still be playing. So,
Okay. Okay, yeah, we're good. We're good
just
there.
any recruiting trip or anything, just put that on. Make it a Wednesday.
All right, got you.
All right. You're you're in this podcast, and you're sitting here as one of we try to give these podcast assignments to the elite athletes in the county. So we consider you an elite athlete. Who's responsible for you being an elite athlete in your view? Who do you think?
My parents. Definitely my parents.
Why?
They pushed me a lot. My mom more so in the classroom, and then my dad for football. He takes me. We train on our own. He'll pay for my trainings. Will take me to the field whenever. Always to the gym. We go to the gym every day. During this off season, he would or last off season before I could drive. I got my driver's license recently, but before that, he would wake up and then we would have 6 a.m. workouts here at Lincoln. So we would do that, and then later that night we would go to the gym and work out more. And then in between, we would probably have a session with Coach Jason Van at Helix or something like that. But yeah.
Wow.
Goodness.
Dude, so
were you always? Were you always 8th grade, 7th, 8th grade? You're always going to Lincoln. You had no other thought about another school?
No.
Always gonna be Lincoln.
No, so at first I was gonna go to Helix. I was Helix all the way up until probably December of 8th grade year, because over COVID. So in youth football, I played for the Elkhorn Falcons first, and then I played for the Bonita Bucks. And then my 14U season was when COVID happened. So then we made a travel team called the San Diego Soldiers, and Coach Dunn's son King, he was on the team. So then my dad started talking to Coach Dunn, and then I started training with Coach Dunn a little bit, and then that's how it happened.
Hey, did anybody? You bring up the Bonita Bucks. Did anybody on the Bonita Bucks live in Bonita?
Yeah, there's a
No,
few.
they didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, it did.
They did?
It was a few, like, yeah, but
That was a youth team.
I didn't leave him
Yeah, I
either.
put it together. But what?
Well, you're not allowed to recruit youth, and they did some recruiting. I'm about to say.
Let it go. It's you.
No, I'm not letting it go. I was with
Again,
East Lake Panthers. I'm not letting it go.
You know, there was head trauma back in the 80s, and just
it
let
go.
it go. You know how when people drool and you don't want to say anything? That's how I am with Bert. Okay. Listen, can we have 5 more minutes, Aden?
Yeah, for sure. However long you need.
All right, 5 more minutes. Let's talk about advice. You seem like a pretty intelligent kid who remembers what people say to him. Who gave you the best advice? What was it?
My best advice that I received. Okay, I have 2 that stand out. One of them is from Coach Carter. He always says, "Prepare for your opportunity, or else your opportunity may embarrass you." And that basically means, like, if you have a goal and you're eventually, like, if you're pushing yourself towards it, you're going to have a chance to achieve it one day. But if you haven't been doing what you need to do leading up to that opportunity, then instead of it, like, being yours, it's going to mess it up and it's going to push you back further. Like, an example of that is, like, say you go to a college camp, right, and you sign up for a school that you really want to go to. If you do good at the camp because you were training throughout the off season, like, that's good. Like, you're getting closer to your goal. But if you weren't doing what you were doing, you weren't preparing for your goal, for your opportunity, and you do bad, then it's just going to push you further from your goal and it's going to embarrass you. So that was probably one. And then another one, I wouldn't necessarily say it was just a word of advice, but just something that my older brother told me. It would just keep your eyes on your own plate, which basically means, like, at the beginning of high school football, like, I would look at the rankings and stuff and be like, okay, like, I'm better than this kid, but he's getting these offers, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But he just told me, like, just keep your head down at your own plate, like, what you have going for you, and just work and improve yourself. And then I feel like that helped me a lot because I stopped focusing on others and just focused more on me, and I improved a lot.
God, I want to hang out with this kid.
He also has the coveted number 2 at Lincoln.
Geez. Now we're 25 minutes in this conversation.
Well, you cut the clips up anyway. It doesn't matter what time I say it.
Talk about wearing number 2 at Lincoln High School. First of all, I was told there might be 2 number 2s this year. Is it just 1 or 2?
It's just one this year.
All right. So congratulations. Explain why that's
Thank
a
you.
big deal and what it means to be wearing it.
Okay, so at Lincoln, being chosen to be number 2 basically goes to the team leader, I would say, the person that the coaches can depend on the most, someone that they view as a team leader, someone who that they know is responsible and that if they need a job done, they can handle it. So being chosen to be number 2 is a big deal for sure.
Did Eugene get mad at you when he didn't get number 2? Eugene Rice?
I'm not gonna lie, I thought we were both going to be number 2, and then during the season, he walked out of the equipment room with the 54 jersey, and I was like, damn. I guess we're not both wearing 2, but it's all right though. It's no bad blood. Gene, that's probably my best friend on the team. I'm not gonna lie. Outside of my little brother, that's probably the person I'm closest with.
Well, you make sure he's available on the 3rd because I can't see a future where he's not at least an Iron Hog candidate, or
Defense Player of the Year.
He'll be up for Defense Player of the Year and maybe Iron Hog. So make sure you both are available. Talk about a little bit about him because that kid's a hell of a. He reminds me of John Randall.
Another Minnesota Viking player.
Well, just in that maybe he doesn't have the dimensions that everybody's looking for, but just watch him play football, and he plays football really, really well. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah. No, Gene, so like I said, we were close. Like, I don't know how, but since freshman year, we've had every class together. We might have had like 1 or 2 where we didn't, but like I'm with him all day. And so it's like I picked up his good habits. He's picked up some of my good habits. And it's just, I feel like we made each other better on the field and off the field as well. Especially like in practice, like when I got to go through the line, I got to burst, I'm going to run into Gene. So just figuring out how to avoid him and then helping each other in the classroom and stuff like that. So we help each other for sure.
Yeah,
right.
we got an interesting Eugene and Luke Westfall, 2 best D linemen. So you used to avoid Eugene, so now stay away from Luke too.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have the 2 best defensive players in the county, perhaps.
A lot going on in this game.
Yeah. Plus the 1 versus 2. Hey, as we let you go, I wanted to ask one more thing. Damn it! No, you got me sidetracked.
You're already way over his time. He's
all right, but
GPA's
he
dropped
said
to
he's at
4.2.
lunch. He's at freaking lunch. Don't worry.
All right.
One more thing, young man. Oh,
Yes,
damn
sir.
it.
He's having a senior moment. You don't just.
All
you're
right, well, we'll just say goodbye. I'm going to think of it as soon as we hang up, and then we're going to have to do this all over again. Hey, do you guys watch the PPR?
Yeah. Yeah. When I get home after the games, I'll watch. Yeah.
Well, could you elaborate and be a little more positive about it, please?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, could you
like
talk
who's
about?
embarrassed he watches it? Like we're Teletubbies.
Yeah. Could you say it's a bit like speak to what it means to high school football player? You know, you go somewhere else, you're never going to find another show like it.
Right. No, yeah, PPR is definitely like I feel like every player in San Diego wants to be featured on it. Like I remember my first time I was featured on PPR, I caught a screen pass against Steel Canyon my sophomore year. And then it was like 60 yards or something like that. And then I heard my name called on the show for the first time. Made my whole day. That was almost better than the touchdown itself. But yeah, PPR it's a cool show for sure. I feel like every player, like I said, wants to be featured on it. And then it's just, even though you know you scored in the game, just rewatching it later on TV, it just makes it better.
Who you like better, Brandon Stone or Paul?
Say Allison Edmonds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just don't say Nick James. You're good.
All right, young man. You're, I was just thinking, I think Marcus Allen ran a 4.6. And he made it to the Hall of Fame.
Bucket, you see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
Right.
So I think you're right where, anybody, dude, I'm not lying to you. Everybody we've talked to
It's you.
brings you up. So trust me.
That's the honor. That's the honor for sure.
I wouldn't say it if it wasn't true. So we really appreciate you doing this. You might get another phone call later in the year to come be in studio. I can't promise that right now because it can't be the Lincoln High School PPR. It has to be. We have to spread the love around. But depending on how far you go in the playoffs, we'll have you back before the show is over. Young man.
Yes, sir.
You're going to get a call from Bert and Maddie. We're going to need some pictures of what do we?
Headshot? No.
No, what do we're going to get a list of stuff. We're going to like family photos, like your dad and mom. Just plan on start pulling those right now for us because I want to edit this today. So family photos of mom and dad because we're definitely going to use that clip. We've got Marcus Allen.
Him and Roderick, man.
If you have any pictures of you and Roderick, if you have any pictures of you and Dunn or Carter, please don't be shy. Send as many as you got.
Or Eugene.
Or Eugene, because those are all the things that are we're gonna post this whole thing now, and it's gonna go raw on YouTube. Then later in the day, we're gonna start posting clips that become the high visibility things that have video over them. Okay, so be ready for that. And you've been a delight to speak with. I look forward to seeing you Friday night.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Anytime. I enjoyed it for sure.
You're a great guest. And what's the shirt mean?
Okay, I was going to bring that up. I forgot about it when we were talking about him. But this is Gene's brand. This is his clothing brand. It's Luminary Threads. Luminary basically just means to inspire and to lead others. And then threads is just like another word for clothes.
Oh, wait,
but hold on, I'll
I'm
scoot
not
back.
1,000 years old. I mean, I got that. We were calling it
All
threads.
I didn't know what it meant.
Jeez. I know I look like a dodo, but I get that part. So, and who makes the clothesline?
Gene designs it. I don't know who he made the clothes through, but it's his brand though. Like he owns it. He has his own Instagram page. But yeah.
Oh wow.
We didn't get anything free.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Send me a picture of the of his website.
Okay, I will.
Because we might use this bit right here at the end. And again,
Okay.
All right,
You're way over.
We went almost a half hour. You're one of the longest kids we talked to, so that means you did great.
That's good.
All
It's
right,
fine.
you're loved and respected, and be safe and keep your head up, okay?
Okay, yes, sir. I have one more thing to say real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, Bert, you said you were with the East Lake Panthers youth football organization, right?
Yeah, probably before you were born though. But yeah.
Okay, so my parents, we have a snow cone company. It's a blue trailer. And then we used to do the East Lake Panther games in
I remember,
2014, 15. Like sometime around there. That was you?
Were we at Olympian then or at East Lake High School?
Yeah, I think it was Olympian.
Yeah, that was me. Wow.
Okay, yeah.
Wow, did I do something wrong?
No, that was just the first time I met you. That was the first time I
I
met you.
thought you were going to tell me you
Yeah,
touched
yeah.
somebody inappropriately or
I
something.
know, I was gonna hear all that,
Jeez.
man.
No.
Jeez.
I stole some of the syrup or something. I didn't know what was going on.
You had me worried there. I thought, oh boy, there goes the podcast. All right.
We'll see you Friday.
We'll see you Friday. PPR podcast number 192 is now concluded.